It's confirmed. It has been confirmed. It is confirmed that Israel Adesanya was injured in the fight in 305 against Dricus Du Plessis. Now, the speculation started after Alex Pereira said what he said in his video where he said he felt like Izzy was injured because Izzy's best weapon was his low kick and Izzy didn't throw his low kick at all, right? So me being the person I am, I went and I posted it on Twitter about what Alex Pereira said. It gained some traction, maybe like 250K, something like that. People saw it. My friend Israel Adesanya, who we follow each other, you know what I'm saying? We cordial, we DM each other, all that, you know what I'm saying? My boy Izzy saw the tweet that I posted and he quote tweeted it on Twitter, all right? He quote tweeted it and he said, and I quote, "It's weird how this guy knows me. It's like we spent hours studying each other's moves and fought multiple times or some." I meant that. So pretty much in this, he quoted himself in a quote he said earlier in his career about how like him and Pereira like know each other well and they just know what they're going through essentially. That's what the origin of this tweet is. So pretty much in this tweet, as you guys saw, he pretty much confirmed that yes, Alex Pereira knows me so well. He's right. I was in fact hurt in that fight. Now, we know Izzy's not one to come up saying an injury happened, this, that, and the third, if it didn't happen. Like, one thing about Izzy, like when he sprained his MCL against Alex Pereira before the fight, he didn't even go public about that till after the fact. He beat Alex Pereira, and then the training footage came out, and it showed when he actually hyperextended his MCL.
Damn.
So Izzy's not the type to complain. In the Sean Strickland fight, he still never officially really said that, yeah, I was hurt before the Sean Strickland fight. People like me had to like go do some digging and we found out that it ended up being true. So one thing about Izzy that we know is that he's not the type to make excuses and not the type to be like, oh, this happened, that. And still in this subliminal tweet that he tweeted out, he still never said that I was injured, that's why I didn't win, that's why that. No, at the end of the fight, we can look at all of Izzy's tweets. He's given Dricus credit. He said, GG's Dricus, the better man won the night in all the press conferences. So Izzy is... he doesn't make any excuses. Did Izzy confirm he was hurt? Yes, he confirmed he was hurt. Did he use it as some kind of crutch or some kind of excuse or like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what happened? We know at this point what's up with Izzy. I remember when I dropped the video, they're all like looking at me like, oh, like Kenny, I hate you. They were like bringing me hate because like I said, I'm Kenny Okoye, so they're gonna hate on me because oh, he's just an Izzy fan hating on. When literally Pereira was the one who brought up this assumption. Like Pereira was the one who said like, but I'm getting all the negativity because Pereira said it, which like I said, it makes sense. Like I said, I know who I am. You're gonna take the anger out on me other than Pereira, who's the person who came up with the accusations. Initially, I just said that I felt like Israel Adesanya fell in love with his boxing, which is why he didn't throw any low kicks. But what Pereira said, it just made more logical sense. Like he's probably injured, that's why he didn't throw a low kick. It wasn't that he just fell in love with his boxing, which is kind of a poor excuse on my end, or not excuse, like a poor theory on my end. Like it just didn't really make sense. Like, oh yeah, the kickboxer fell in love with their boxing, so they just forgot to kick. Doesn't really make sense. So yeah, Pereira's theory has been proven true by Israel Adesanya himself, and I know people are still going to be a little bit upset about this. Like, oh my God, Izzy just coping? Like you can't say Izzy's coping. He didn't use this as an excuse to pull away and say, oh, that's the only reason I lost. He literally just said, okay, Pereira knows me so well because how did he figure this out? And it just honestly goes to show like Pereira and Izzy don't dislike each other. And I know there's a big narrative like, oh, they hate each other, rivals. Yes, they're rivals in the sport, in the competition, in their jobs. But you could tell that they're actually connected in some way, shape, or form because they don't really bicker a lot. They don't really argue. Like they don't really hate on each other outside of like competitive nature. You've seen Izzy countless times give him credit. We've seen Izzy literally say that he has nothing against Alex. It's just his fans who are just the cringe, annoying people.
I'm sure I'll see him this weekend. He's around because I'll be at the fight this weekend.
I know you guys are cool.
I'm cool. I like Alex.
Yeah,
it's the poor Tods that they're fucking. Yeah. You know, as usual.
Like we know they're both cordial. We know they both like each other. And I actually like this for one. And I remember in this video, in Pereira's video, he also reached out to Izzy saying he would love to train with him. So it just shows that like, man, like the fan base is like, listen, I'm an Izzy fan. I also like Poetan, but I know there's a lot of Poetards out there. And don't people, I remember I said this in my last video, I said Poetards. Everyone in the comments like, oh, don't call me a Poetard, man. You're the biggest Izzy fan. You have no right, bro. Like, Poetard is just the name that you guys got because you guys like probably kind of like a cringe fan base. But no offense, like I said, it's not even a diss. Like, good, keep rooting on your guy, but like, it's really just the fan bases. Like I like both fighters. It's like the fan. I just can't stand the Poetar. Just like you guys can't stand me because I support Izzy. Like, oh Kenny, don't support Izzy. I hate you for that. You can't do that. Everyone else hates Izzy. Can you just hop on the bandwagon? And I'm just kind of like I'm just all good. But my whole thing with this video is just like pretty much trying to elaborate that like this is breaking news, and it's just crazy that the breaking news came from my tweet. This is why once Izzy followed me, I knew we'd be locked in. I knew we'll figure stuff out quicker, dog. Because now we know that Izzy's hurt, dude, or Izzy was hurt. Now. Let's talk about the fight now. Now that we know Izzy was hurt, it's making a lot of sense. And let me get this straight. What points to this theory being correct is that like Izzy was throwing front kicks in the Dricus fight to start off the fight, and I remember every time he hit Dricus would fall forward almost like he's about to fall, and then he would get frustrated and go in with a 1-2. And then after the first round, Izzy just let go of the kicks and stopped doing it completely, and he noticed the boxing was working. My theory is he had an injury in his leg going into this fight now. I feel like he wanted to see how his legs would feel, so he threw a couple leg kicks, and then he didn't like the feeling yet. He was like, oh wait, this injury's still bad. So that's why in the first round we saw him throw about, I think he threw 9 total leg kicks in the whole fight, and all in the first round. After the first round, he was kind of realizing, yeah, I don't think I could be able to last this long, you know, as the fight goes along, because my legs are gonna give out on me, and I can't let him see that weakness. And that's why I think he just abandoned the low kick. After that, like, you never really saw him throw any more low kicks after that, because like he probably felt a significant pain, was like, I can't last in this. People are also saying he looked slow and sluggish, like his movement looked a little bit labored. It goes back to like even his defense, the way he got caught, like just backing up in a stationary round. His movement wasn't looking like how Izzy, like we know how Izzy moves. He literally moves really well on his feet, switches stances a lot, like he moves good. This fight, people kept saying he looks a little bit slow. That could be a tie to the injury. Also due to it also has something to do with the wrestling of Dricus. Like he's so heavy on the upper body, and like dragging, like Izzy had to drag his weight around to get to this cage every time he's trying to get up. So yeah. And honestly, it's frustrating because knowing how heavy Dricus was on his front leg, and we know if Izzy would have just compromised that, it would have been finished. It would have been an easy victory for Izzy. Because like if Dricus has no front leg, that blitz becomes 10 times more predictable. The already predictable blitz by Dricus is going to come way more predictable after this. And it's just frustrating that we just didn't get to see that from Izzy. And first of all, I got to shout out Pereira, because I know people just don't think I like Pereira, bro. I have nothing against Pereira. I actually like him as a fighter. Like I said, it's the fans who I despise. You guys are just annoying to me. The way you guys make his whole career compare and contrast to Izzy, instead of just appreciating his career for being great and appreciating Izzy's career for being great. So yeah, like I said, Pereira's the great guy, and I'm glad Pereira saw this. Pereira never said what he said in that video, like he knew the assumption. Izzy would have never came out with a tweet saying, this guy knows me so well and he just knows what I'm going through. And yeah, bro, it's just like, Pereira is the reason that we got this answer. Yes, I did a little bit of my sprinkling, you know what I'm saying? I put it out there on Twitter. Izzy, you know, he saw my tweet because, you know what I'm saying, we locked in and we followed each other. And he had a statement on this. So I'm just glad that Pereira planted the seed for us to actually get to conclusions. Honestly, I think I needed this. Like, honestly, all these Izzy fans, y'all can say it's cold, but we needed this, dog. I know there's going to be, like, a very few Izzy fans. This region is going to get a lot of hate because a lot of them are going to be Pro Talk fans. Like, oh, Izzy just crying, but you know what I'm saying? So, but, like, for the few Izzy fans watching and actually made it to this part of the video, bro, like, now it's more comforting knowing that we weren't crazy and that, like, he wasn't just not throwing low kicks, like, for fun, but, like, he actually had something wrong with him, which is why he wasn't throwing low kicks. Because it was very confusing. I remember I was like, yo, I'm trying to figure out why did he didn't throw it? And, like, all my theories that I came up with were just so poor. Like, oh, yeah, he just fell in love with it. And, like, no, he didn't fall in love with no boxing to a point. If he had that great boxing, so we already knew he was better than him at striking in that department, imagine the low kicks with that boxing. Would have been just a clinic on the feet. It still was a clinic on the feet, to be fair. The one round that Dricus won clear was the second round, of course, because there wasn't no striking. It was almost just like Dricus laying on him and wrestling. Rounds 1, 2 judges gave it to Izzy. Rounds 3, 2 judges gave it to Izzy. And it was because the striking of Izzy was just overwhelming him. And that was only boxing. So that was an Izzy who was doing nothing but boxing. That was Izzy, like, just throw on boxing gloves, because he didn't throw any kick. A kickboxer, the most world-renowned kickboxer, one of the best kickboxers in UFC history, went into a fight and just didn't kick and boxed. So it's like, yeah, and like we knew going into the fight that, oh, like the narrative going into the fight was like, oh, Izzy has bad boxing. So he broke that narrative, yes, but like imagine him breaking that narrative as well as just finding that low kick. It just would have been cinema. It would have been a great and like one-sided performance. I guess everything happens for a reason, like I said. So I'm not really like, yeah, I'm a little bit upset that Izzy was hurt, but you know, injuries happen. I feel like a lot of people get injured going into fights, so it just sucks when your best weapon is stripped away from you prior to a fight because you went through an injury. Like I said, I don't know if Izzy's gonna come out, be more specific, make a video on this. Maybe I can get on my channel. I don't know. I try to interview him, talk to him about it, but I'm curious on like what specific injury was. I remember he just sprained his MCL in Alex Pereira. That fight was last year, so. I know, me personally, I know MCL sprains and stuff, they take about like almost 8 months to fully cure. But Izzy did take some time off, but I don't know if he re-injured it, like, or he never fully recovered from it, because after the MCL strain in the Alex Pereira fight, he fought a couple months later against Sean Strickland. So he never really got time to actually sit down and heal his MCL. Maybe something completely different that he went through in training, but all I know is that Izzy going into the Strickland fight said he was healthy. When he wasn't, going into the Pereira fight said he was healthy. MCL sprain. Going into this fight said he was the healthiest he's ever been. Izzy's always the type to just not make excuses, and I gotta give him credit for it because that's what makes Izzy Izzy. He's a fan favorite for that, or maybe not a fan favorite, but like the real ones respect him for that. But it's like I'm just curious on what injury he had, and I just hope that he recovers and actually maybe takes time to recover. He keeps saying that we're not just appreciating when he sees him because he's not going to be doing like fights like the consistency he usually was. Like he's not going to be as active as he usually is. So I'm just going to appreciate the moments he's there, and I'm sure he's going to try to heal up before he even gets back in the octagon. But now all we know is that Israel Adesanya was confirmed injured going into the Dricus Duplessis fight, and I made the video saying apparently it might be a thing, and people were hating on me, but now they know it's confirmed. I know there's still gonna be hate because they just don't like Izzy, but that's it for me, bro. And I hope y'all like the video, and God bless. 2, 3, 4.